All right, Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. We actually beat them, and we did it using the system that we've been talking about for the past few videos. The system that we used against Aston Villa. Basically reverting back to the team that played last season pretty much in its essence, apart from the exception of Ekitike up front. And then obviously Alisson would be playing in goal, but he's injured, so Marmudashvili was in goal. But overall, basically the same team as last season, and look at the consistency, look at the performance, look how many players played so good in this game. Conor Bradley was unreal. Robertson was really solid and assured at that left-back position. That midfield three that I've been banging on about for video after video, Szoboszlai, Mac Allister and Gravenberch, looked absolutely imperious. And the most interesting thing, playing Wirtz on that left wing instead of Gakpo, he actually played so well, didn't he, Wirtz? And we've all been crying out for it. Obviously at Leverkusen, he played kind of that inside left midfield role where he had less defensive responsibility because he had 5 defenders behind him. Obviously playing 5 at the back, more cover behind him meant that he had a bit more of a free role in that team, and he could basically go and roam around and do all that good stuff that he does. And we saw that in that Real Madrid game so much, didn't we? He very often came and roamed inside, but we still had the cover and the solidity of that midfield three. Szoboszlai, Mac Allister, Gravenberch. Really solid. Szoboszlai in his 10 position, that is absolutely untouchable in my opinion. He's so good in that 10 position at the pressing, breaking up the plays, good on the ball. He had lots of shots. He's good on the set pieces as well. Szoboszlai just completely undroppable from that position for me at the minute. And I thought Wirtz looked really good on that left wing, as I predicted that he would be. Because when you give him less defensive responsibility, when you're playing in that 10 position, you still have to do a lot of running and a lot of chasing, a bit more defensively minded. But when you've got more cover behind you and you can be a bit more free, it gave him that freedom to just roam around. There was a few times where he roamed all the way from left wing to right wing to press. And there was that situation where he actually was pressing the left back and won the ball back off him. Or was it the centre back? It was off Huijsen, wasn't it? It was the left-sided centre back. But I thought overall, Liverpool absolutely amazing. Really solid performance. Obviously, you expect Liverpool to perform at Anfield in the Champions League under the lights, because we so often do, to be fair. But a really solid performance from Liverpool. Real Madrid underwhelmed me, to be honest. I thought they probably could have been much more effective, and they have played a lot better in most of their games this season. But I think it just went to show how well Liverpool really disarmed them and really stopped them from playing. As I said, Bradley was absolutely imperious in this game. He basically made it look like Vinicius Jr. wasn't even playing. He had him rolling around the floor about 4 or 5 times, going like this, holding his face over like the tiniest little contact. It was just like very funny, to be honest. Obviously, we got the inevitable Trent Alexander-Arnold substitution, which basically amounted to nothing, and he pretty much did nothing in the game, did he? I think he could well have been overawed with the situation, to be honest. I think Alonso interested in putting him in the firing line, but one of those things. But overall, the team absolutely amazing. Salah looking much more like himself as well. Finally looking like he's coming back into that form. And I think I cannot stress enough the system and the team from last year. When you've got a champion, when you've got a league-winning team, I should say, when you bring in lots of new players, obviously you want to try and bring as many new players in as you can into the team straight away. But when you've got a team from last season that did so well and was so consistent for the entire season, apart from the little drop-off at the end where everyone was partying in Ibiza and probably drunk. When you have such a unbelievably consistent team for pretty much the entire season, when you bring in lots of new players, you want to try and just add them in here and there. I don't think you want to be, throwing like 4 or 5 new players into the lineup and expecting it to work straight away. I think that's what we did at the start of the season. We obviously had Kirkes coming in straight away. We've got Isak and Ekitike and Wirtz all trying to fit all those players in straight away as well. The midfield, we were trying to, we're tinkering around. We're trying to fit players in that maybe don't fit. We've obviously got Frimpong as well, who came into the lineup for a few games. Obviously, he's been injured. We had Leone as well, who I think potentially could have played, but sadly got the ACL. But we bought a lot of new players, and I think we may have tried to just put too many new players in too soon, and it destabilised the team and unbalanced us in a lot of ways. I think Wirtz playing in that midfield area really unbalances the team, to be honest. You cannot deviate from that Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Mac Allister midfield, in my opinion. It's just way too solid They complement each other so well. Szoboszlai is so good at running and chasing the ball. Mac Allister is just so good on the ball, and he's got that real nous in and around the pockets and spaces. Gravenberch is really good at breaking up the play, and he's good at running with the ball through the middle as well. They all just have so many good complementary attributes that when you take one of them out of the team, you can really tell that there's a big drop-off in the performance of the entire team. And I think the front three do suffer as well. When we don't have that solidity in midfield, they get their ball less because we're not passing the ball through the lines. We're not running through the lines like Gravenberch can. We're not just playing the ball around with that freedom that we do when we have those as the middle three. The front three, Salah got the ball a lot more in a lot more dangerous areas. Wirtz was coming inside and just dictating play and coming and getting the ball, linking the play up. Ekitike looked really good, dropping in, laying the ball off, doing those number 9 things that you want to see, but also trying to cause a goal threat as well. I think overall the setup just looked so good. And I think if I'm on a slot, I just think you cannot deviate from this lineup for the foreseeable future unless you get significant injuries, because it just looked so well balanced, so dangerous. Every time we went forward, we looked like we were going to score. We got lots of breakaway chances, and we still had a few good players to come off the bench that can change the game. Gakpo, Chiesa, you got Engamoa as well. You got Curtis Jones if you get a little bit of tiredness in the midfield. Obviously, I feel like we could do with one more midfielder, from being honest. Maybe like an Adam Wharton type player would be absolutely ideal in my opinion. But overall, Liverpool absolutely dominated Real Madrid, to be honest. I don't think they really had any good chances at all. They had a few half chances. I think Bellingham had one chance where he got into the box, but it was from a tight angle where you wouldn't expect him to score from anyway. I think overall, Liverpool were just absolutely imperious in this game. And they were very, very good in the Aston Villa game as well. I think they were even better today, or yesterday. Obviously, I'm recording this video the day after. Overall, I think this lineup has to continue for the foreseeable future. And I think you have to slowly, bring these new players in and introduce them in a bit more of a methodical way. To be honest, I think Kirkez, I think he's been quite frantic. I think he needs a bit more time to settle by the looks of things. I think when Frimpong comes back from his injury, I think he's more like a right winger for me than a right back. He's obviously incredibly fast. He rinses his defender every time he gets the ball on that right wing. Obviously, when Salah goes to the AFCON, I'm hoping that Frimpong is back by then so he can be the right winger. Because honestly, the amount of times where he'd beat his man, cross the ball in, you think Isak and Ekitike, when they're fit, would be absolutely lapping up consistent balls into the box, cutbacks from Frimpong. I think Wirtz on that left wing just looks so good as well. I don't think we can really deviate from this team for the foreseeable future, to be honest. Going into that Man City game at the weekend, is it on Saturday or is it on Sunday? If it's on Sunday, I would play the same team because you get 4 days off. 4 days and then back into a game again, so it's not just 3 days and back into it. But overall, Liverpool with a great win against Real Madrid. Absolutely buzzing. I'm actually more happy about the performance than the result, if I'm being honest. Because this league stage of the Champions League, we all know that Liverpool are probably going to qualify in the top 8 most likely. But the performance was just so much better. It was so much like last season where we just dominated teams, dominated the ball. Whenever they had the ball, we never looked like giving a chance away, really. We looked so solid. We looked really hard to break down, but also really aggressive on the counter. We looked really good on the ball and looked very dangerous when we were going forward in possession. It just looks so much better overall. And if that's... I think Slot has been trying to get lots of new people into the team, and fair enough. But I think you cannot deviate from this team, and it's basically a replica of last season with a few little tweaks, a few new players in different positions where we've obviously sold players, bought players. But I think the solidity and that back 6, back 7, back 8 players, if you like, they all need to stay as similar as possible for that solidity that they give us. And then the forwards, I think the forwards can be quite interchangeable. I think Ekitike's hit the ground running really well. He definitely deserves to be playing. Obviously, Isak's still on and off with his injuries. He could probably do with a week or two really on the bench, I think, just to get up to fitness and make sure that he's fully recovered from all these niggly injuries he's getting. Frimpong obviously has got an injury, but he'll be back. I think he's more like right wing cover than right back cover, to be honest. Calvin Ramsey is in the squad, who I thought really deserved it after that cup game where we got absolutely destroyed by Crystal Palace, but it was the kids and you can't really expect anything else. But overall, I think we've got We've got the players, we've got the squad, and like Van Dijk said in the post-match interview, we've got the quality, we just need to show it on the pitch. And I really feel like that was a really big statement from Liverpool, that we're still very much a team to be contended with. Everyone's, you know, posting selfies at Anfield saying, oh, we've got Hoyson saying before the game, oh, Anfield's just another pitch to me. It's like, obviously not. But yeah, there was a lot of people underestimating Liverpool, I think, after having a bad run of games, but you can clearly see the quality's still there. And when we've got the right setup, which I think is that setup from last season, with a few new players added in, just a few, so you don't unbalance the team, I think we looked pretty unbeatable yesterday, to be honest. I never felt like we were going to lose the game when I saw how we were playing from the first 5 minutes, passing the ball around, looking really solid in midfield, playing through the lines. Conor Bradley just running, buccaneering through the lines as well. Overall, just a really good performance. And if we play anything like that against Man City at the Etihad, I think we've got a good chance of coming away with something as well. So, as always, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Liverpool will beat Man City? Do you think we'll play the same team? I personally hope that we do, because, to be honest, we looked absolutely imperious against Real Madrid, and I never felt like we were going to lose that game. If we play half as good as against Man City as that, I think we'll come away with a decent result. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.